Hey again, my name is Thomas, I'm a founder of NerdCow, and today I would like to focus on web design tips for your next business website. And it doesn't really matter if you are building a website or getting a website built, it's still relevant. So whichever side of the coin or fence or car or table you are on, then it still applies, which is great. So stay around or stick around. Let's do it. First thing first, it's branding. And I know this is not necessarily the first thing that comes to your mind when you want a website, but branding is really the first thing that people see. Is the first thing that people engage with, if you know what I mean. It's not interactive thing as a website, right? You can't really interact with branding, but branding is that overall that image of your company and everything it stands for. So before people visit your website, they are most likely they most likely encountered your branding image, your logo, your tagline, your anything, your mission, vision, etc. So it's really important to get branding done first before you actually build a website. That's the bottom line. It's because website follows the branding, not the other way around. So if you are not happy with your branding, get a branding agency involved and deal with that first before hiring a web design agency to build your website. So that's my first tip. Second thing you really want to take care of is content on your website, okay? Content first approach, please. Write content, make sure it's understandable, make sure it's relevant to your business, make sure it answers any objections, it fights away any fears your readers might have. Just make sure your content is exquisite, okay? Please, because the content is that thing that tells the story, okay? Is the contents, the text, images, iconography, every video, anything on your website that is marked as content creates that immersive experience that people will engage with. So if you fail on that front, everything else will pretty much follow, and you don't want to fail across the board. So start with the content, think of what you want to say, and then carry on. Now that next tip I want to mention is probably similar to the previous one, or you would at least address it while taking care of the content side of things, and that is a goal of your website. So if you have a goal on the horizon, right, you know the direction you're going to, then it just becomes this much easier for everyone, right? Because if you know where you're going, you can work on your content, you can work on your branding, you can work on your website in a way that gets you closer to that goal. If you don't know where you're going, then how are you supposed to produce anything meaningful, and how are you supposed to interest anyone that finds your website for more than 1 second? They will instantly drop off. If you don't understand your own message, your own mission, then you can't expect anyone else to understand it, So make sure you know your goal, you know your purpose. And that sounds philosophical, but let's keep it small and relevant to the website for now. Let's not worry about meaning of life and stuff. But it's a great question, but kind of out of scope for now, right? Also, what I found is that many people who think of building a website, they don't necessarily think about where it fits within the organization. So they just don't. They just don't. So as an example, right, you might have a marketing strategy going on, or just one plan for the next 6 months, and your website will need to support it. Like, so in general, take into account your marketing and sales efforts, your planned strategy, so that website actually aids them. So the website works with that strategy to, just increase that return on your investment. Have a think about who uses your website, and I don't mean the visitors, they obviously will, right? But from the admin side of things, what your team needs from that website, what do they need to edit, how often they need to add things, what about scalability, what about future proof? You need to think about that too, because you need to choose the platform that works for you. You need to set permissions for users, you need to create enough accounts, you need to make sure that data structure is good for your needs. So there's plenty of things to think about before you actually, even write the very first line of code. Make sure you know where the website fits into your business ecosystem. What do you want from it? Exactly. So the next thing on the list is user test the entire thing. And I mean the entire thing, right? So from the other videos on our channel, you will know that we really love building a prototype very quickly, just so we can test, validate our idea and our assumptions, right? So do the same thing. Trust me, you will want people to use the prototype, just to test your ideas in front of you, to really validate if they have any reason for being. Because you might think something will work, something that is, good for your audience or your team, but in fact it's not, because you've missed something. And you just can't know. It's impossible to know it unless you ask other people. So get your team to use that prototype, get your team together in a room, ask them about their needs, their requirements, build the prototype, schedule some testing sessions with them or with the end users as well, because they're, two sides to the coin. So first of all, test it all. Test the heck out of it. Because that investment you do now will pay off twice or triple in the future. Another thing people seem to forget is that your existing website is really is a well of knowledge. If you have any sort of analytic tools installed on your website right now, there are so many lessons that you can take away from that raw data in your Google Analytics account or any other, all the other Hotjar, Crazy Eggs, whatever you use. This is just source of incredible knowledge that you can use to tweak or to apply to your new website, so you don't make the same mistakes twice. Have a look where people drop off. Have a look where people come to your website. What are the most popular landing pages, and can you update them? Can you improve them? How many people come from organic search? How many people come from direct traffic? And what is their journey like later on? Does the direct traffic convert better? Does the organic traffic drop off right away? Or maybe it's a different way around. So have a look, ask questions, try to find answers in your analytics data, and take that knowledge, take things that you learn from it and apply it to your new website. You will be amazed about the difference that it makes. So give it a go, and it's really fun. It's really fun to step into your visitor's mind for a second and get to know their habits, their preferences, and their behavior. So give it a go and let me know what do you think. With that being said, there's also one other thing you can do, and that is the final thing on the list today. That is, ask your people, your current traffic, ask them if they find something misleading, if they find something unclear. Maybe ask them directly what stopped them from buying from you today. There are many questions that you can ask that will actually give you a meaningful answer. But what's more important is how you do it. So you can use tools such as Hotjar, I think VWO, Optimizely. There are many, Crazy Egg. I mean, if you just type in like survey tools for website, anything really, it will do. So you can have that little survey pop up on specific pages where you ask like a closed question, yes, no, or you can follow up with an open-ended question. There are many ways to gather feedback. You can get the list of people who abandoned their cart, and send them an email, send them a message asking, hey, what stopped you from buying? And to be honest, we did it a few times, and you'd be surprised about the answer. So the answer was, oh, I got distracted, I forgot about it. That was the reason why they didn't convert. So what we did next, we just did an automated abandoned cart follow-up email, and that's it. Simple as that. But we wouldn't know. We wouldn't know unless we asked. So ask people, talk to people. It's all about that. Just talking to people, because websites are for people, and every single person has different habits, different needs, preferences. The way they use web, the way they consume your content is different to how you do it. And the only way to find out about their approach is really to talk to them. So yeah, I think that'd be the biggest really tip and sort of advice I have for you. When you build the website, build it for people, because that will cause that sort of ripple effect that will span across everything in your organization, every single corner of your organization, which is great. I mean, that's what we want website to do, right? We want it to be that hub of everything your business stands for and everything your business does, especially if your business heavily relies on your website to bring those leads and sales. That is a must-have then. I mean, there are companies that use website as a side thing. They don't necessarily rely on it, and then I kind of understand. But then maybe the reason the website is not as efficient as it could have been is because it's not tested, it's not built for people, it's built on intuition and what marketers or business owners think the visitors need, when in fact it's something completely different. So just let it sink, have a think about it, and let me know in the comments what's on your mind. I'll be very happy to hear about it. And that's it from me today. So thanks so much for sticking around. Please make sure you like the video if you liked, and if you didn't like the video, like it as well, and drop a comment, subscribe, and there's more videos coming up soon. So see you then. Bye bye.